Welkom terug en baie dankie dat jy op 'n Woensdagoggend saam kyk na die Groot Ontbyt. Soos ons vroeër vir jou gesê het, ons almal weet van die ontploffing in Johannesburg se middestad, dat dit die afgelope paar weke hoofnuus gehaal. En ons het ook gereeld daaroor berig hier op die Groot Ontbyt. Vanoggend op die program kuier Deon Pohorille van SA Leak Detection Distributors Africa by ons om ons te vertel oor hulle ondersoek. Hulle is die mense wat kameras aan die pype ingestuur het en so aan die pype wat ontplof is. Deon, good morning and welcome to the Groot Ontbyt. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's start with your organization. Tell us about SA Leak Detection Distributors Africa. What do you do?
Morning. Thanks for having me on the show. We are a pipe rehabilitation business, so anything underground is our business. We're interested in how pipes interact with the earth and to give new life to pipes. That is our primary focus, on detecting leaks in the pipes, detecting structural integrity in the pipes, and looking at the entire holistic environment that the pipe is in.
Deon, I'd like to just, for context, also start with how did you get involved in this investigation? Did the city contract you to do the investigation?
Yeah, so we work for Johannesburg Water and we supply technology to many municipalities. We've got a training center in Johannesburg near our Tambo Airport. And we started off at looking at the pipes.
Deon, let's now look at some of your findings. I am so interested in the technology that you used, but let's look at the findings at the end. We all heard that it was caused by gas. Is that the case?
So there's no dispute that gas caused the explosion. And what you've got is you've got a tunnel, and there's also no dispute that the tunnel was actually the place where you've got the confined space. And just remember that gas, when it explodes, produces between 250 to 300 MPa, that's megapascals. That's an incredible amount of energy. And you only need 10 meters of soil, not clay. Clay, you'd probably need about 5 meters of soil to produce 1 MPa. And you'd need double that because the density of normal soil would produce 10 meters, would produce 1 MPa. So imagine being buried under 10 meters of soil, only producing 1 MPa. That explosion produces between 250 to 300 MPa. That's just the sheer power of gas. Excuse me. There's a lot of services in that area, and I'm not qualified to make a decision to say this is the exact cause of it and this is the ignition point and this is what happened. But what I am qualified to do is to harvest data and to give it to the clever engineers from the city, and then they will do, well, they're busy doing analysis on exactly what happened. What you've basically got is a tunnel that was full of gas, and then above the tunnel is a Goli gases pipe. So in that pipe is a product that comes from Mozambique. So Sasol buys the gas from Mozambique, it pipes it to Sasol, and then from Sasol they supply it to Goli gas. Yeah, that's actually the what you're showing on the screen now is the Goli gas pipe. That pipe there is above the tunnel. So underneath that is the tunnel. Now, what you must remember is that methane is made out of 4 hydrogen carbons and 1 carbon atom. Four hydrogens, 1 carbon, and it's lighter in the atmosphere. So methane will always go up, except for in our case, we were working in winter. So you probably got some different stratification of the gas. Now, below the tunnel, on the other lane of the because remember, Breestraat's got 4 lanes. In the old days, 2 lanes traveled from west to east and 2 lanes traveled from east to west. But nowadays, all 4 lanes are traveling from west to east. So in the southern lane, that is where Johannesburg Water's utilities are lying. And deep down below is a sewerage pipe. Now, methane is produced by anthropogenic means, which means humans produce methane. You've got methane produced from the ground, and you've got methane brought there by egoli gas. So there's methane everywhere, and there's methane pockets all over the city. So the clever guys will decide, was it egoli gas as methane? Was it Johannesburg sewage methane? Was it methane from under the ground? But what you must remember is that egoli gas's pipe was above the place where the explosion took. And now you've got something, if you look at the periodic table, you've got hydrogen, atomic weight of 1, and then you've got carbon, which is number 6. So carbon has got an atomic weight of 12. So when you combine such a light gas, it has to go up. Whereas hydrogen sulfide, which has got a much heavier density, which you'll also find in those sewers, hydrogen sulfide will always sink to the bottom, just by sheer nature of physics. So the really clever engineers are doing the blast modeling. All we are qualified to do is to submit the data to them. Now, what's quite interesting is we take smoke and we pump 4 different colors of smoke. So I would take smoke and I would put it into the sewer network. We'd put smoke and we'd put it into the tunnel network. And then you'd watch the path of where the smoke goes, and you can trace how it stratifies, and then you can actually see what was the cause of the explosion, or rather, where did the methane travel? How does the methane percolate and migrate through this network?
Very, very interesting indeed. And as I said, Deon, I'm so interested in the technology that you've used. We are busy running out of time, but let's have a look at it. I saw some drones. I saw the cameras going into the pipes. Talk to me within a few seconds about the technology that you used.
So there's a guy called Daryl Epstein that owns a company called Delta, and he's the drone guy. Those are really cool guys. That drone can full LiDAR map. We've also got LiDAR. Our LiDAR is tethered. Now, that's Daryl's drone. That's a cool drone. And that thing actually produces a lot of wind. So I actually asked him, I said, do me a favor, put your drone in for me and switch your blades off, because I'm going to pump my smoke, because I don't want your drone producing a smoke, because it's going to give a false positive. I want the smoke to naturally migrate through the pipes. And then, of course, we use push cameras. Now, our push cameras can go thousands of meters. We can go to 2,000 meters, whereas the drone is limited to only 150 meters. And the drone is critical because some of my crawlers can't go over because all the cables fell off the roof of the tunnel. So the drone is actually the ideal device for this challenge, but the drone is too big to go into all the other pipes.
Deon, I am so impressed by the work that you do. I'm so impressed by the information. Thank you for coming and helping us to get some perspective on this situation. That is, of course, Deon van SA Leak Detection Distributors Africa. Baie interessante gesprek, maar is nou eers tyd vir die nuus.